Tailfishes, Courtney Mermaid here, and today I'm going to tell you guys why I prefer fabric mermaid tails to silicone mermaid tails. Coming up. So we're going to start off today with the obvious point, okay? Wait. I am not a strong person. That's just a fact of life. I'm working on it. Maybe one day I'll be strong. Who knows? I do not fancy the idea of lugging around a 30 to 50 pound mermaid tail. Thank you and good night. I can't do it. I'm not physically strong enough to. I tried to pick up Mermaid Moongazer's tail once and I put my back out. I'm trying to lift the thing and I couldn't do it. 45 pounds, couldn't do it. So weight is a big deal for me. I want a tail that is light, and that's really important to me. All right, the next point is price. I do not have $3,000 to $8,000 just kicking around that I could throw down on a silicone mermaid tail. I just don't, I haven't got it. I have to replace the computer soon, so what are you gonna do? I need something a little bit more reasonable in terms of price. So the price point for a fabric tail, you could be paying anywhere from $30 to $500 for a fabric tail, varying in quality, you know, degrees of fabricness, as it were, whether it's neoprene or if it's just a spandex sort of blend. Sequins and other details, you know, some people get fabric tails and have silicone additional fins sewn on. So those are other options as well, but personally I just don't have the money to deal with a silicone tail. All right, the next point is probably my favorite point, is longevity. The thing is, so you've dished out $3,000 to $8,000 for a mermaid tail. And that's American, by the way. So that's a lot more Canadian, okay? And that's great. But say down the road you're like, something happened to it, it got like the dorsal fin maybe ripped, or you sat on something, you got a hole in your tail or whatever. Something unfortunate happened and you ruined your tail, or you are just, it's getting old, it's getting worn, and you need a new one. Well, what do? You're gonna phone up your tail maker and be like, hey man, I need a new tail. And they're gonna be like, yeah, another $3,000 to $8,000, please. If I damage one of my tails, you know, say this guy, for example, if I damage this, I have the file saved. I order my fabric and I go get it printed. And it'll be, and then I sew it together, which still takes time, but it'll be the identical tail, and I don't have to worry about having to dish out. So while it'll still cost me money to do it, of course, because everything in life costs money, it's not gonna cost me thousands and thousands of dollars. In fact, it'll probably cost me half of what it did to make the tail the first time. So that's the thing. So if in a couple of years I'm like, oh, you know, I have this tail, I really like it, maybe I want like a little upgrade, maybe I want a little design or a little pattern, but I want the colors all the same, boom, I make the little change in the file, because I keep everything backed up, and knock on wood, nothing ever happens to my drive, but keep it all backed up, make your changes, bring it to your printer prints it, then you sew it, and then you're done. You know, there's no 2-year long wait list, there's no, you know, expensive shipping for something that's like massive. If you have to send your tail back, you gotta pay for it there, you gotta pay for it back, it's a whole thing. So for me, just the longevity of having the same tail design, if you were a mermaid who wanted to have that consistent, say like Mermaid Linden, who has the same style tail that she's had for years. So if you're somebody who likes that idea and you don't want to have to spend thousands of dollars to replace your tail for something similar later on, it's a good option. All right, the next point is a good one, okay? Anyone can make a fabric mermaid tail. Now, anybody could technically make a silicone tail too, but a fabric tail, for most people's skill sets, you know, you learn how to sew a little bit in high school maybe, or your grandparents teach, or your mom teaches you, or whoever, you got a friend. It's something that almost anybody can do. It's not particularly a hard project. It is a straight line and a straight line and a straight line and 2 more small straight lines at the bottom. I've got full tutorials on my Mermaid School playlist if you guys are interested in seeing how I actually went about making this tail, all right? So anybody can do it. Anybody can go out, your local fabric store, pick up some shiny dancewear spandex, trace out your outline, and boom, you've got a tail. So Really, it's a great place to start. It is a really fun activity, and it is something you could actually do with your kids if you wanted to teach them how to sew, you know? So it is a really basic way to start. So I always like that aspect of it. Because I could do it myself, and because I'm a very creative person and I like to do these things myself, it was a great spot for me to start. They're very easy to transport, okay? The only thing that I have to, and it folds up, is my monofin, okay? And it folds, so if I had to travel with it, I wouldn't want to fold it for a long time, but I could squish it nicely into a suitcase. And my tail rolls up. I had 4 or 5 tails in my bag the other day. Look at that. That's it. That's your tail right there. That fits right alongside your underwear, for crying out loud. It takes no space in your bag to transport. So if you have to go, you know, I've got one of my sponsored mermaids. I'm not sure, is she in Mexico right now? Or, well, when you're seeing this, she won't be. She will be back. But I've been filming this a month and a bit in advance. Anyways. But yeah, she was able to bring her tail with no problem because it's so easy to transport. Most people with a big silicone tail have to actually ship their tail wherever they're going or pack it in an enormous box. For me, I couldn't justify that. That would make me crazy. I'd be panicked. I'm like, here's my $5,000, $8,000, whatever dollar investment on the plane, and hopefully it gets there and hopefully it doesn't get damaged, and then you gotta go through customs and you gotta explain what the hell this thing is in your bag, and you're like, yeah, that's just a really big mermaid tail. So that, for me, that's the reason that I prefer the fabric for that kind of transport. It is super easy to dry. It is super easy to bring home from the pool, and it is super easy to fix. Okay, so this is how it goes. So I pop my monofin out when I'm at the pool. I rinse that bad boy. We're good to go. And it gets literally folded up and stuck in here. All right? So I'm coming home from the pool. And I've wrapped this bad boy up. It's sopping wet. And that is literally how much space my mermaid tail takes up in my bag. It's amazing. People are like, oh gosh, I'm on transit, my tails are leaking everywhere. I'm hoping to start selling these as well, by the way. I'm trying to find a supplier for these right now. But this is a waterproof bag. I got this. This was actually a gift from the pool that I swim at the most, which I love dearly. And there it is. It doesn't leak. I throw that in my bag. My monofin, I give it a quick towel dry, and I carry that sucker just like so. Anyways, but that is as easy as this is. And to prove that there is actually, I don't know if I showed the footage of me putting it in, but this is actually a full mermaid tail. Okay, so that's a pretty impressive thing. They're easy to clean. You rinse it out. It's easy to dry. You lay it flat to dry. If you get a hole in it, you can sew it up. You can glue on extra bits if you need to on the inside to reinforce. If you were like me and one of your tails uses the Aquarius, you could always, like this one I haven't fixed this one yet because I'm hoping to do it in a video. But this one has some holes. So you could sew those up quick. You could put you could flip it inside out. You could glue a little bit of extra fabric over top, make it a little bit reinforced, add some sequins, boom, away you go. You know what I'm saying? You're not like, oh my God, I've got a hole in it, I gotta ship it back to my tail maker, or I can't do it myself. I would do it myself, but I'm too scared because I don't know how to use the silicone, and I don't know where to get the silicone and what kind of silicone, and bleh, it's just too much for me. I can't. I need just to be able to do it myself. Like, please, just make it easy on me. Now, I know a lot of you who watch my channel have silicone tails, prefer silicone tails, and that is totally cool. This is only why I personally, okay, me, myself and I, why we like a fabric tail versus a silicone tail. So please do not take offense to anything I'm saying. This is not me putting down silicone tails. Silicone tails are incredible. If I had the money, if I had the means, maybe I'd make them myself, maybe I'd buy one, who knows. But currently, my kitchen is my workspace, which is why I don't make silicone tails, I only make fabric. But I just personally prefer the fabric tail experience versus the silicone tail experience. You know, there's other reasons I don't like silicone tails either, but as I've never been swimming in one personally, I don't want to have an opinion on that until I ever actually tried it. So I'm not saying I would, but you never know, because you never know. All right, so if you are a fabric tail user and you love fabric tails as much as I do, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and bell notifications so you don't miss any of my mermaid adventures. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, for all the wonderful questions I've been getting on my tails recently. You guys are all rock stars. I hope I can make tails for everybody one day. I need to clone myself. I need there to be 2 of me. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you all in my next video. Happy swimming. Bye.